Hi everyone, welcome into this week's My Weekly CBS Fix. This week's Parsha is Parsha Tetzaveh, and at the beginning of next week we have the upcoming holiday of Purim. Just want to share a couple thoughts. So towards the end of this week's Parsha, Hashem commands Moshe to build the golden altar. And the golden altar, the Torah tells that you have to burn incense on it, and the smoke, the fragrance would be very pleasing to Hashem. And so the question is, we already had a copper altar that was used on the outside of the temple, and so what's the need for a secondary altar? And the commentaries explain, the Kli Yakar explains that the copper altar that was found on the outside, it was called the Mizbech HaChitzon, on the outer part, that was used for the animals. The animals were sacrificed on this, but the golden one, that was the Mizbech HaPnimi, the inner altar, and that was used for this spice, for the fragrance. What's the difference? The animal one was there to atone for any sins that were done with the body, and therefore they took another body, and in lieu of, God forbid, our own body, so Hashem took the body of an animal. Whereas the inner one, the Mizbech HaPnimi, signifies the Pnimi over here, our soul. And sometimes we sin with our souls, even if our bodies don't sin. And so therefore, when a person sins, usually he has both, but sometimes a person only could sin with their soul, have the wrong thoughts, or have basically the wrong thoughts. And so therefore we need an atonement for that as well. And so that was what the golden altar was for. That was there to atone for the sins of our soul. And so therefore both of them were necessary to require atonement. Now at the time that the Jews that their lives were in danger, the story of Purim celebrates the fact that Hashem saved us from the decree of the evil Haman and the evil king Achashverosh, who signed that all the Jews should be eradicated on the 13th day of the month of Adar. Now, what did the Jews do? They had sinned both with their body and their souls. They had bowed down to certain idols, the idols of Nebuchadnezzar, who was one of the Babylonian kings, and at the same time they also ate from the meal that Achashverosh had put on. He put on this really long feast, lasted longer than 6 months. And the Jews ate there for whatever reason. But the point is that they weren't allowed to eat there, so they sinned with their body, and at the same time they sinned with their souls by bowing down and possibly thinking about serving other gods. And so therefore we need an atonement for that. And so therefore the holiday of Purim, when we celebrate, allows us to gain atonement today as well for any possible bad thoughts or bad deeds that we may have done. Just want to share with you the 4 mitzvos of the day of Purim. So the first mitzvah is you have to listen to the Megillah. The Megillah is the story, Megillah's Esther. It's the book of Esther. We have to listen to the story both at night and during the daytime as well. The second mitzvah is you have to have a meal, a big party. As a matter of fact, there's also a mitzvah to drink a lot. And so therefore you have to have a meal. What do you call a meal? You would have some bread, you would have some meat, you'd have some really good food, stuff that you would want other people to partake with you. You feel like you're a lavish king, feel like you got saved and you have a big reason to party. You're not just going to take a bag of potato chips. Another mitzvah is to give matanos le'avyonim. You got to give 2 gifts to 2 different poor people, approximately $2.50 for each person, total of $5 if you do not know any person to give it to. You can go to the rabbi of the synagogue, give him the $5, make him your agent to give on your behalf. And another mitzvah that you have to do is you have to do what's called mishloach manos ish l're'eo. You have to give a minimum of 1 gift, 2 gifts or 2 portions, manos ish l're'eo, to a minimum of 1 person. The best way to do this is to take something that could go for the person's meal if this person doesn't have what to eat. So take a hoagie sandwich or some sesame chicken, whatever, along with let's say some mashed potatoes, and give that to the person. Like that, you fulfill the mitzvah of the day. And this mitzvah increases unity, harmony, loving, or make sure that other people have what they need, and have an amazing day. And don't get too drunk, but drink a lot. Take care.